Hello, welcome to White Threads Floss Tube number 81. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really glad that you've joined me. Thank you. Today I wanted to let you know that finally my order of Vaupel and Heilenbeck linen bandings has arrived. I ordered them in about March last year and there were difficulties with couriers and things like that, but because of COVID, and they finally have come. So it's very exciting. So I have this one here, which is 30 centimeters wide. It's a 28 count creamy white linen. That one arrived. It is the one that's used for the table runner in my Smoig book. So that's back in stock. I also have this one here, which is the same one, but it's 6 centimeters wide. So creamy white linen again, 28 count. And this is used for the bookmarks in my Smoig book. So that one is available too. There is this one here, which is about 10 centimeters wide. I think, is it 10 or 8? I can't remember. And does it say? It's 10 centimeters wide. There we go. It's a natural coloured linen and it's got a creamy jacquard design down the sides, and that's a lovely one. 28 count again. That one's back in stock. And then finally there's this one here, which is a white coloured one. It's also, now how wide is this one? This is 80 centimeters, so 80 centimeters wide. It's 8 centimeters wide, and it has a hem stitch border around it. This one is used for the Sardinian candle wrap in my candle, sorry, not in my candle book, in my Sardinian book, and you could also use that for anything else that you wanted to as well. So they are all back in stock. I have received stock for some of the things that I'm going to need for project supplies packs for the Frisian book and for various other things. So there is other stock that I've got, but I'm not releasing them because I want to keep them aside for other things at the moment. But yes, it's very exciting. Things have arrived. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so talking about supplies packs, just this morning I have added the Frisian Whitework project supplies packs to my website. You can now go and order them. They will not be sent out before the books arrived. I see no point in doing that, and I just don't have time to get myself organised to get them all together before then. So if you have ordered a copy of Frisian Whitework Dutch embroidery from Friesland from me, my aim is that if you then order a supplies pack, they will go together. So when the books arrive, then your supplies pack can also be sent. That's just going to mean less work for me, less doubling up on addressing, quite frankly, well, not really a million envelopes, but a lot. It's going to be a huge mail out as it is, and so I'm just trying to streamline things and make it easier for myself. If you haven't ordered the book from me, like you've ordered it from somewhere else, then you're certainly welcome to order your supplies pack from me, but I still won't be sending them out until the books have arrived, because I've got enough on my hands at the moment, okay? So all the supplies packs are up on the website. There are about 3 that I'm currently unable to send in any form because I'm still waiting on stock of the fabric, and that is the 36 count linen. As soon as that 36 count linen arrives, it will be chopped up and chucked into supplies packs and they will be sent out. Hopefully it will turn up before the books do, but I'm not holding my breath because I ordered that back in October last year. But yes, as soon as that turns up, then they will be sent out as well. It may be at a different time to your book if you've ordered a book from me, but I'll do it as soon as I can. Just keep that in mind. So you're very welcome to order those things now. Just know that they won't be sent, obviously, until the fabric has arrived. Last time we spoke, I showed you the 2 projects that I'll be teaching at my Mount Mallet class, my in-person class, here in Walker in May. I wanted to show you the other 2 classes, the projects for them that I have scheduled. I've only got the 3 classes scheduled at the moment. That doesn't mean there won't be more in the future, but these are the ones that I'm working on at the moment. I just can't do everything all at once. So the next class after that will be this one here, which is Smoig, which is pattern darning from Norway. And this is the framed square. This is worked in a Verosoir silks with 2 strands at a time on 28 count linen. Now, one of the interesting things about this project, I mean, I will teach you, of course, how to do pattern darning itself, but because we're using 2 strands for this, it can be really helpful to use a laying tool. So that will be part of this class. I will teach you how to use a laying tool, and you can get your stitches all looking beautiful. So that class is going to be on the 31st of July and the 1st of August. These are all weekend classes. That did seem to be what suited most people, and it probably suits me better too, so that's what we're going with for now. And then the following class after that one will be the Frisian Silk Sampler, and that will be on the 28th and 29th of August. Again, a weekend. So all of those classes will be in-person classes here in Walker. I will put a link up so that you can go and find more information about each of those classes. I've put heaps of information on the the class pages. There is information about getting to Walker, where you might be able to stay in Walker, like there's links to all of those sorts of things, so that I've wanted to put everything there so that you can have it all at your fingertips. It tells you a bit about the classes, the project supplies pack, the kit is included in the cost of the class, so there's nothing to add on top of that. One of the really important things that I would like to say, in these uncertain times, I highly recommend that you take out an appropriate travel insurance policy. We want these classes to go ahead, but we just don't know what's going to happen. So if I had to cancel the class because the class was undersubscribed, then I would refund you your money. But if you've already booked accommodation, then that's a bit of a problem. I can't refund that. And it says all of that in the terms and conditions. So what I do suggest is that it's a really wise idea in this day and age to have an appropriate travel insurance policy. I can't advise you on what to have. That's up to you to choose. But I think that it would be a very, very sensible thing to do. And just, you know, insurance is an insurance thing. It's worthwhile having. So I do recommend that. So if you've got any questions about the classes, please don't hesitate to ask. I hope that I've put enough information there. I have already had people book into the classes, which is exciting. So at least 2 of them are looking like they will go ahead already in terms of numbers. I can't say what COVID's going to do. So yeah, they are available. I do really apologise to all of those people who are unable to make these classes. And that's anyone really who's not in Australia and New Zealand, because they're the only people that can come to Australia at the moment. So I understand that there are a lot of you who are probably quite disappointed, quite annoyed that they can't come, and you would love to come. And I'd love to have you. So that brings me on to the next thing, which is online classes. And we're going to have a bit of a chat about that. So because I've been advertising my in-person classes this week through Facebook and my blog and through my YouTube here, a lot of people have said to me, can you run that as an online class? I can't get to Australia, but I really want to do it, and I can't travel at the moment, but I really want to do it, or I don't have that weekend free, but I really want to do it. Well, the answer is, I want to run it as an online class. I really do want to run these things as an online class. And it's not that I haven't thought of it. I certainly have thought of it. I've been thinking about it for years. But there is one specific thing that I haven't yet overcome. So for something like Mount Mellick, it isn't an issue. I don't see that there's any reason why I couldn't run an online class. I could video myself teaching you how to do the stitches. I could have a chat to you about various things about Mount Mellick, you know, like I'm chatting to you now, and we could run the class. It would be great. And so for a surface embroidery class, no problems whatsoever. But for a counted thread class, and most of the work that I do is counted thread, there is one big problem that I have not figured out how to overcome. So when I'm teaching a class, I go round and I show people how to do the stitches, and I usually show them in groups of 2 and 3 so that they can feel like they're really being able to see what's going on. They can ask specific questions about what they're seeing and what they're not understanding, and it just is a really good way to do it. So it takes more time to get around the whole class, but you get individualized attention when I'm teaching you. So that is one of the main things that I do in my classes. But the other main thing that I do when everyone's sitting there stitching quietly, hopefully they're quiet and not too chatty, because that means people make mistakes, particularly in a counted thread class where you have to concentrate. Anyway, so as they're all sitting quietly stitching, I wander around and around the class checking people's work, just seeing that they're doing the right thing, that they haven't headed off in the wrong direction or with the wrong thread or whatever. But I'm also checking that your stitches are in the right place and that you're not making any mistakes with your counting and that sort of thing. And that's a really, really important thing that I do in my classes. Because if you got to the beginning of a class and you didn't quite get something right from the beginning, or if you made a mistake just a little way in and then you couldn't figure out what was wrong, and this was an online class, what would you do? You could contact me and say, I've got this problem, I don't know where I've gone wrong. But unless I can actually see your work, I'm probably not going to be able to help you solve that, because I will probably need to count the threads and check that everything lines up where it's supposed to and all that sort of thing. And if I don't have your work in front of me looking at it, I can't do that. My experience is, over many years, that a lot of people have difficulty taking good photographs. So for me to say, can you take a good close-up photograph that is sharp of the front and the back of your work? I want to see the back, not so that I can see whether it's messy or not. I'd like to see whether you're forming the stitches correctly, because if I can see on the back that something's wrong there, then that might point to a reason why things aren't working on the front. So it's not that I want to see whether your back's messy or not. I don't care, really I don't. So I would want a close-up, very sharp photograph of the front and the back of the work. I would want, but the problem is you might take a photograph of the area that the problem isn't in. So I really need to see the whole thing, and I need to see close-ups of the whole thing, because where you think the mistake might not be where the mistake is. So this is a real important thing to me, because I need to be able to help you by helping you figure out where your mistakes are. And I just haven't figured out a way to do that when your work isn't in front of me and when you're not with me. So yeah, it's a great difficulty I have, because if you make a mistake at the beginning of the class, it may be that everything else that you do has to build on that, and then you're building on a mistake. It may be that you compensate for the mistake and make an opposite mistake part the way along, but we still need to know where the mistakes are so that we can fix them, because it may throw other things out later on, particularly in counted thread work. So if you made a mistake at the beginning of the class and you couldn't go on further, how would you feel? I personally, if it was me and I didn't have my teacher there to help me figure out where my mistake was and how to correct it, if I was in that situation sitting at home and my teacher was online, I would feel so helpless to know how to continue. I would probably feel like I had wasted my money on the class. I would probably feel like I'd wasted my time, my effort, and I would be so disappointed. And I don't want that disappointment for any of you. I want you to be successful, because that makes me happy. I want my students to be successful. It would be disappointing for you, but it would be disappointing for me as well, because I want you to be successful. So I expect that some of you have taken online classes, which are counted thread classes. And maybe this is something that you've experienced already. Maybe you already know how to overcome these problems. If so, I would love to hear from you, because I would love to run online classes. So many people ask me. So many people can't get to Australia at the moment. And so many people in Australia can't come to me or don't feel safe to travel. So I understand, and I want to be able to do this for you. So if you can help me figure out how we can solve this problem so that we can move forward and we can do this, I would absolutely love that. Because this is a problem that I haven't been able to figure out, actually planning for online classes is something I haven't done yet. So I would actually need to buy a new camera to do my stitching instruction. So the videos of me showing you how to stitch. I feel that I could improve upon that. And I also probably actually need to buy a new computer, because the one that I have is quite old, and every time I make one of these videos I have to clear things out so that there's enough room to actually be able to make the video. So yeah, I think if I was going to be making a whole heap of videos for a course, then yes, I certainly need to invest in some new stuff. So not that I can't do that, but it's just that it's something I haven't done yet, so I would need to do it. So yeah, if you can help me sort out this problem, if we can move forward together, that would be so exciting for so many of us, that I would be able to teach online classes. So I look forward to hearing from you. I really, really would like to hear from you if you can help me sort this out, if this is something you've experienced before and you know how it could be solved. And that may not work for me. I may have reasons why your suggestion doesn't work, but I'd love to hear them anyway, because, you know, ideas might spark new ideas, and that would be really helpful. So that's all I have to say today, but it's been lovely spending the time with you today. Thanks very much, and I will see you next time. Bye.